It is another beautiful day for Philippine basketball as we continue with our coverage in the MPBL 6th season, coming to you live from the Caloocan Sports Complex. And as we present to you another triple header for your MPBL Friday, we shall begin things with the Iloilo United Royals taking on the Muntinlupa Cagers, which means family is going to be a big theme for us today because we will be featuring the Capasios. We have Gwyn Capasio returning for the Iloilo United Royals after missing out in their previous outing in Abra. He will take on his younger brother in Gwyn Capasio, who will be representing the Muntinlupa Cagers. Muntinlupa is actually on a roll. They have back-to-back victories in their campaign, but can they actually get the third straight against a team that is very hungry to get back into the picture of the South Division playoffs? Our second game will then feature Greg Slaughter and the rest of Manila taking on King Tamarao, Tete Teodoro, and the rest of Mindoro. And then for our main event, Caloocan Batang Kankalu will defend their home court against the Bataan Risers. Thank you for joining us, folks. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Juanito Gregorio. And I have to emphasize his last name because you're a basketball family, yes. Juanito. He has a brother named Jaggy who's one of the VIPs of the Quezon Huskers. You have your Daddy Alan, you have your Tito Ryan who competed against each other back in the day. Because we're featuring the Capasio brothers, can you explain to us kung kamusta nga bang isipan ng emotions ng isang player kapag kalaban mo ang kapatid mo?
You know, they feel that it's more relaxed, but actually it's the total opposite. It's much more competitive when you're going up against family. Kasi pag uwi nyo, kayo ang makikita at may bragging rights yon for the rest of the week or the rest of the month. So I'm sure between Gwyn and Gabe, this is going to be very, very competitive between these two.
And by the way, back at home, meron pa silang Daddy Glenn that will add into the mix of that basketball conversation.
Shout out to Mikey as well, their brother.
Ayun, sa pa yun, naglaro din yun back in his day. But now we have to introduce our courtside reporter, Cindy Crespo, who has a story for us about these Iloilo United Royals, especially when it comes to their Abra journey.
Yes, gentlemen, let's talk about Iloilo. They suffered a significant loss versus Abra, playing without their key players, Cancino, Capasio, Katapusan, and Nonoy. But as emphasized by Coach Japs, Juan, this is not an excuse. This was the farthest Coach Jap and some of the players have traveled for an MPBL game, and while the 10-hour journey and fatigue may have played a role, there's no excuse for their poor body language on the floor. Tonight they are, or today rather, they are very, very determined to bounce back, led by Gwyn Capasio. Shaq Imperial is fully recovered or is fully 100% okay despite limping in the fourth quarter last game due to calf strain, and Ray De La Rosa said he is very ready to step up for their remaining games. Gentlemen?
That is definitely good to hear, especially with the absences of Mark Nonoy and CJ Cancino, top two scorers in the season for the Iloilo United Royals. Juanito will now be breaking down our team standings, beginning with the North Division.
Well, you see here in the Northern Division, actually it's pretty much the same teams that we're having right here, but let's focus on Caloocan. They have a game today. They are at number 8. So their game today will be very, very important for them to be able to shy away from Valenzuela, who is still trying to knock on that playoff picture.
How about in the South Division?
Well, here in the Southern Division, Quezon still at number 1, even with 2 straight losses, but they already won their last game. Iloilo and Muntinlupa on the other end, the ones that we will be having today, are at number 9 and number 10 respectively. They are 4 games behind Negros, but they want to be able to inch closer and be able to enter that playoff picture. So very important game para dito sa Iloilo United Royals and for the Muntinlupa Cagers.
It has to be almost perfect for them moving forward in our campaign. But now, let's break down that previous game of Muntinlupa, a game which they won. As I mentioned, it's back-to-back victories already for them. What happened then, Juanito?
Well, you know, the youth of Muntinlupa, you can really feel it already. They're much more comfortable, their system is intact, and the veterans are really guiding itong mga bata ng Muntinlupa. So slowly but surely, they are getting further in the season. Guys like Marcos, Flores are being very, very active the past few games. But if you look at the numbers right here, Muntinlupa played terrific in that last game. They overpowered Imos. They were able to take control of the inside. But the one factor that they were really able to take control of was the rebounding. They were 60 plus 19 in the game. They were plus 13 on the offensive rebound. So they got 14 second chance points. And that was the main reason why they were able to shy away and get that victory against the Imos Agimat.
By the way, 60 rebounds is really a big feat for them because they only averaged 41 rebounds per game. That is third to the last in the MPBL. Now we talk about the previous game of Iloilo as they journeyed 8 hours up north to Abra?
Well, you know, talagang nakakapagod nga naman pumunta sa Abra. So we really saw that the fatigue of Iloilo in that last game was very, very seen. They were not able to play the best game versus Abra, who was the home team in that last game. And of course, without their top scorers in Cancino, Katapusan, and Mark Nonoy, they were not able to really challenge the scoring of Abra. We look at the numbers of Iloilo in that last game. They really struggled in a lot of the places, but one thing that they gave Abra was that inside points. Abra just overpowered it, took control of the inside. 54 points in the paint out of the 77. Only 23 points were shot from outside of the paint, so that was really the strength of Abra in that last game. Second chance points 25 compared to only 4. Rebounding plus 18 and also very efficient para sa Abra. So really a game that they need to bounce back from itong game nila against Abra.
Ryan Batino was the best player in that outing, dominating the paint alongside the likes of Mike Cañete and Marquis. And at some point, it became a homegrown show for the Abra Weavers as they won their second game at home. But now, it's a brand new day for us. We are in Caloocan for Iloilo versus Muntinlupa. We turn you over to Miguel Pereira.
2024 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 6, presented by Extreme. Time to meet our starters. First, for the Muntinlupa Cagers, Albert Paramount. Starting at guard number 9, Jasper Cuevas. To guard number 24, Gabe Capaccio. Center number 25, Ryan Arenal. Forward number 6, McCoy Marcos. And the other forward number 15, Justin Alano. The head coach for the Muntinlupa Cagers is Mixon Ramos. Assistant coaches Alex Calweng, Jerry Andalion, and Red Villapa. Team manager is Vince Harder. Team owners are Kaiser Galvez, Grace Galvez, Attorney Jem C, and Aya Saicon. Now, the starting 5 for Iloilo United Royals. Starting at guard number 88, France Diaz. To guard number 11, Roy De La Rosa. Coming in at center number 15, Alan Santos. Forward number 25, AJ Madrigal. And the other forward number 90, Leo De Vera. The head coach for the United Royals is Japs Kuan, with Ethel Tacorda and Julius Sinon. Team consultant is Mac Kuan. Team manager, Jay Havelosa. Team owner is JJ Havelosa.
Another returning player for Iloilo is AJ Madrigal. It's good to have him back after he was feeling sick when his team went to Abra. We have our starting fives brought to you by Sports Max, powered by Playmax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. So AJ Madrigal will be joined by France Diaz, Alan Santos. We also have Rai De La Rosa and Leo De Vera in the starting lineup of the purple shirts. While for Muntinlupa, it's RJ Arenal with Justin Alano, Gwyn Capaccio, Jasper Cuevas, and McCoy Marcos. Iloilo is looking to snap its 4-game losing skid, while Muntinlupa is looking for their third straight victory. Their previous victims were Imus and Bulacan. Even though they've won, we have to remember that those teams are in the bottom part of the standings. So this is another tall order for them.
But those two games were very crucial for them to actually get confidence going up against Iloilo. Even without the stars in Katapusan, Cancino, and Nonoy, malakas pa rin itong Iloilo. They still have a full load of talent. You still have France Diaz there, Leo De Vera, Rai De La Rosa. So it's still going to be a tall order para dito sa Muntinlupa.
France Diaz driving and passing inside. That's a turnover forced by the Cagers. And this is Justin Alano slowing down with Marcos and Cuevas. Jasper, the former Perpetual player, handing it off to Gwyn Capaccio. Now it's Coach RJ Arenal. Hand off to McCoy Marcos. Taking the pass, and he misses.
It's a good drive by Marcos. This guy is actually slowly becoming a star here in the league. But on the other end, AJ Madrigal finding Alan Santos on that trail lane.
That guy is a star in his own right, Alan Santos. However, you may want to contextualize it. One of the more animated players that we have in the MPBL. To Love, Arenal inside to Alano. Muntinlupa really likes to use up their time. 24 seconds to shoot. Marcos, one-hander, yes.
You know, on the half-court setup, there's just so many actions para dito sa Muntinlupa. There's a cutting option, there's a trailer option, there's a three-point option on the corner. That's really the execution, the full system that's being brought in by the Cagers.
Although Muntinlupa scores the least in our tournament, only 67.5 points per game. A lot of people will argue to us that is just the system of Coach Mixon Ramos after all.
They just wait for the last option. Hindi nila binibigla on that first option. They don't force it right away. They don't play quick. But usually you see that there are really good options para dito sa Cagers. You actually see the space para dito kay McCoy Marcos. So much space on that right wing for him to be able to get that drive.
Marcos, by the way, had 4.6 rebounds and 3 assists versus Imus. But before that game, in 8 of 10 games, he was in double figures for Muntinlupa as one of its best scorers. This is Ray De La Rosa at the line. A couple of games back, he was one of the leading scorers of Iloilo alongside CJ Cancino. It is 3-2 after that free throw conversion. With Capascio calling for horns. They fix themselves up. Now it's McCoy Marcos with 13 to work with. Justin Alano matched up against Leo De Vera. Arenal, bounce pass. Great connection there with Justin.
You know, before we were watching the Phoenix Suns score in under 7 seconds. Now we're watching Muntinlupa wait for the final 7 seconds to try and get a basket. So, baliktad na baliktad. They really try and use up all of the time and get something going on the final few seconds of the shot clock.
Let's see if they can continue to dictate the pace of the game as De Vera misfired. And here's McCoy Marcos. It's a 5-on-4 situation. Leo taps it away. Alan Santos can recover.
And you were saying kanina animated in the first quarter. Alan Santos, you already hear him all the way here in Caloocan.
This play of the game is brought to you by Suzuki. From big to big, RJ Arenal giving it up to Justin Alano. It's good to see the patience come from RJ. After all, he will transition as one of the newest assistant coaches of Louis Gonzalez in that JRU program in their next campaign. De La Rosa bounces onto AJ Madrigal. That's a sorry miss.
We see here Muntinlupa once again, no need to rush anything, execute to the final option and find the best option possible.
Back with the Cagers. McCoy Marcos, baseline attack. Great help by De Vera. Up top, it's Jasper Cuevas from downtown.
Very hard to leave Jasper Cuevas open. One of the best spot-up shooters para dito sa Muntinlupa. You really have to locate him and be able to close out whenever he's open.
That man has come a long way after losing his confidence playing basketball at the start of this season. But then again, he is a starting guard for a big reason for Coach Mixon Ramos as Alan Santos misses inside. That's a couple of layups already missed by Iloilo.
Actually, it's only 3 para dito sa Iloilo. A lot of opportunities for Iloilo. Even the shot of Leo De Vera was wide open. So, a real struggle for the United Royals start the ball game.
His three-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Jasper Cuevas able to convert off of a dime from the Cagers. That was their second assist in this game. It is 7-3. Arenal. To Cuevas, bounce pass to Marcos. They really would want to exploit this matchup. Cross court to Dimo. Moralde up top. Same shot for Jasper. Different result.
Pero pinapush galing to AJ Madrigal but numbers para dito sa Iloilo.
Bounce pass interrupted. And it's a steal by Muntinlupa.
You see Muntinlupa really trying to reverse the game plan of Iloilo. Iloilo wants to run each and every time. Ito Muntinlupa, no. We want to control the pace. Let's go slow. Let's try and be patient and get our offense going. And they're actually getting a lot of open shots here in the first quarter.
That was open for McCoy Marcos who just misfired. And there's a loose ball foul for RJ Arenal. Now we have Lester Tamayo checking in for RJ.
That's what I love about Muntinlupa. These young guns are really given opportunity to go up against these big teams And hindi talaga sila natatakot. You know, it's the mindset. It's a culture where each and every team, they have this mindset of let's battle it out, let's have the chance to win.
Right now, it's Errol Bongay who's matched up against Alan Santos. He was the newest substitution for the Cagers. There's a foul called on Mahoy Marcos as he tried to reach in. Now we have a pair of subs making 3. Marlon Batak, Clint Rodriguez, and Alfred Flores all check in.
A little taller on the 5 of Iloilo right here. Gwen Capascio will be trooping over to that 3 possession. Clint to the 4 and Alan Santos still powering that middle.
It is 7-3, halfway done in the opening frame. De La Rosa on to Franz Diaz. They swing it over. Rodriguez, Capascio, defended by Bongay. He bounced it off of Errol. So Iloilo will have another crack at it with 4 seconds remaining.
Hindi pa natin nakikita ang Capascio brothers actually play together inside the court. Gabe started out for Muntinlupa, but when he got out, it was Gwen who entered for the next team. But Rai De La Rosa finally getting his first 3 of the ball game here.
That's 4 points in this game for Rai De La Rosa, a free throw and a 3-point bomb. 7-6. Flores onto Batak. Barlow taking his time. It's Moralde who pulls up. That's good.
The Warden showing that he still has that offensive arsenal para dito sa Muntinlupa. He was better known for his offensive skills, but lately Dimo has really been playing defense para dito sa Muntinlupa.
Just like this. Trying to pressure Rai De La Rosa. Pass onto the corner. They swing it over to Clint. 7 seconds. Gwyn Capascio. Lefty layup. Nope.
Good defense being played by Muntinlupa.
Forward. Batak. Not blocked. Recovery for Tabayo who stepped out of bounds.
Sorry, miss. Mali lang ng Pectus itong si Warlo Batak, but that was a good opportunity. 3 versus 1. But the miss will go to the side of Iloilo.
Chadi Rangel will now check in alongside Shaq Imperial to join Gwyn Capascio, Rai De La Rosa, and Clint Rodriguez. 6-9 under 4 minutes. Rangel working with Imperial. He drives, layup, and the foul.
They really want to attack that middle. Capascio from the play before now. Itong si Shaq Imperial, they want to be able to use the height of their bigs and be able to get the space eventually on that 2-man game coming from the handoff.
That is Omar Larupay checking in for the first time in this game. He was the lone guy in double figures in the previous outing of Iloilo. First free throw missed by Shaq Imperial. By the way, Shaq had some big responsibilities already when they were in Abra, because as per Coach Japskuan, he was the one who they wanted to step up for them. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case for him at the mentioned Panisiti sa atin. He had a calf strain.
Okay. That's why you see actually hindi masyadong komportable sa movement niya in that last game ng Shaq Imperial. But we know the capabilities of Shaq. We've seen it not just from Iloilo, even from the previous teams he played for. So he is one guy that we are going to look at here in this ballgame.
He's an MVP after all back in his collegiate days. That's a miss by Flores, and in the battle for the rebound, there was a foul called on a purple shirt. It's on Larupay. Omar is trying to plead his case to our referee.
I want to see the Omar Larupay that ended the season. In our last season, Omar Larupay had a few double digits games where he really stepped up as the star para dito sa Iloilo. 118-point game, 122-point game, and hindi pa natin masyado nakikita with the additions of a lot of talent para dito sa Iloilo, but this is a guy that has a lot of potential for this team.
Well, in this season, he's had to come back to his province to take care of his family. So there were some hurdles along the way, but what matters the most is right now, he's in front of us, matched up against Dave Moralde. 7-9, pass inside. Chadi Rangel, yes!
It's too long para dito kay Chadi Rangel. Only little you can do if he puts that ball up. Even with your hand up, that's going to be too easy para dito kay Chadi.
Now we have a deadlock at 9. Back with Muntinlupa. Warlo Bata. Up top. Now they swing it over to the corner. Flores to Demo. Dave shook off Omar Larupay, but that pass went out of bounds.
Good intention, bad execution. Nagkatinginan naman sila. It was just that Dave didn't know if he wanted to put that ball up or wanted to do a bounce pass. So in the end, it's going to turn into a turnover.
Back with Iloilo, Imperial, no foul, but 2 points for him.
Good recognition by Shaq Imperial on that give and go. Nasa likod si Alfred Flores. Shaq sprinting to the middle for that wide open layup.
That's 3 points now for Shaq Imperial in 1 minute to play. 9-11. Alfred Flores from way out, too strong. What a rebound by Bata. That was tapped away by Iloilo.
This guy is very athletic. Itong si Warlo Batak. I remember covering a game, I think in Binyan, where he was doing windmills in the warm-up.
He is the star of Bulacan State University after all. This was the former star of Southwestern University in Shaq Imperial.
And that's why you love the MPBL, giving opportunities for leagues that we rarely hear of, but nandito sila nagpapakita ng kanilang talento.
Harold Bongay, that guy's from JRU. Also as an assistant coach nowadays for Coach Louis Gonzalez, able to score. Another deadlock at 11. Lindo Liguez. Bounce pass to his longtime teammate. Rangel kicks it out. Win Capasio for 3. Yes!
It's a good find on the corner. Medyo masigit na on that inside, but someone was bound to get open and they were able to find Gwyn Capasio on the corner.
Welcome back, Gwyn. That's 2 turnovers, by the way, for Dave Moralde off of sorry passes.
Not really very Dave-like itong kanyang mga turnovers. Usually a guy who is in control of that basketball.
I'm not sure if the headband has something to do with it. Might need to change it, Timo.
Actually, I asked him, Dave, para sa niyang headband? Formal lang, Brad.
On the other end, the guy with the headband, Gwyn Capasio, did give us that 3-pointer. Now there's a pass inside. Rangel unable to receive it. So it's a turnover.
Very slow first quarter we're having here.
Well, isn't it the usual pace when we cover Muntinlupa
Actually,
in the MPBL?
Actually, that's right. That's right. Covering Muntinlupa, you can expect a very slow-paced ball game. Actually, Iloilo wants to try to outrun itong Muntinlupa, but so far, Muntinlupa is able to take control of the pace.
We've only seen 2 fast break points. The first field goal that was for the Royals in this matchup. Off of a turnover, they are trying to run. Larupay lost the ball. Counter run, Flores. Bounce pass, another steal.
Masyadong masikip ang pasa doon ni Alfred Flores. No space to operate.
That was a sorry sequence for Doliges. He already had a couple of purple shirts up ahead. But it's good effort as well by Dave Moralde.
Actually, both possessions, there were numbers already. 4 versus 2 para dito sa Iloilo, and then a 4 versus 1. But both times, it will end in a turnover.
There's a 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Shaq Imperial has it, defended by Alfred Flores. Imperial turns around, and he scores. Way to step up early in this game. 4 seconds to go. Flores, that's a foul by Shaq. And that's only the second team foul of Iloilo.
Just going back to that shot of Shaq Imperial. Once he stops on a dime, most of the time he is going to go for that fadeaway. You have to be ready because that is the talent and skill of Shaq Imperial.
We have a timeout. One last play to be drawn up by Coach Nixon Ramos. We're back inside the Caloocan Sports Complex, presenting to you our fan of the game, brought to you by Jinky Skin. There you have her looking flawless at the sideline with her baby, I assume.
Actually, the wife of JV Kapunan.
Okay,
Of,
young JB.
Young JV, yes.
So anak nila yun.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. That is their baby.
Sideline inbound for Dave Moralde. inside. Nice
Oh,
play.
wow.
That's 2 points for Errol Bongay. And that will beat the buzzer.
On-point execution. Up to the last drop. Ang ganda naman ng pagkakaturo ni Coach Nixon doon.
And that's why he had to call a time.
Yes. You see the happiness in that bench. They were able to execute. Let's watch that again. Oh,
Later.
sorry, later. We'll talk about it again later. But then we see the highlights of Muntinlupa. Execution to the point. You know, that is really going to be the system. But Iloilo were able to get some baskets as well and also able to run. So, it's really a good first quarter but very slow para dito sa pares na koponan.
So far, in terms of the pace, would you say that Muntinlupa is looking good?
Yes. So far, we're playing slow. Iloilo has not been able to run. So, Muntinlupa has been winning the pace battle.
But still, the Royals will take this 3-point advantage. This first quarter score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Babalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. We are inside the Caloocan Sports Complex. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Juanito Gregorio and Sidney Crespo for Muntinlupa versus Iloilo. Right now the Royals are up by 3. But Alfred Flores will have a chance to trim it down at the line.
I like how the bigs of Muntinlupa has the capability to see cutters, to see wide open guys. Everybody is actually a very good passer and you really have to credit itong coaching staff ng Muntinlupa.
But now let's pass the ball to Sidney Crespo.
Mix and Juanito, you can sometimes see Muntinlupa players consistently warming up and doing drills on the bench, a testament to Coach Jerry Leon's high standards for physical strength and preparation. This focus is even more crucial now as the battle for the playoff spots intensifies. Now against Iloilo, both teams sharing the same win-loss record, making this matchup all the more critical. Sabi nga ni Coach Jerry na napaka-importante yung makumpleto nila yung tulog nila, makuha yung tamang hydration at tamang pagkain. In fact, they have a very strict calendar and program when they will load and deload and hoping that players will maximize yung rest na meron sila. And at the end of the day, mas importante nga daw yung responsable sila off the court, Mix, Juanito.
That's a great report because number 1, Coach Jerry Leon is very strict.
Yes.
Hardcore po talaga yan na strength and conditioning coach. And number 2, it's because we also have an SNC right
Yes.
here at the sideline in Juanito Gregorio.
You know, that made me happy as a sports science graduate and seeing Coach Jerry. Actually, I've seen him in Zubel. He has the same strictness para dito sa Muntinlupa. So he doesn't care if he's handling a high school team or a pro team. Ganun pa rin ang disiplina na nilalagay niya. So really props to Coach Jerry Leon.
Here's my question to you. What's the most underrated part of being an SNC?
What do you mean?
Underrated part in the craft of being an SNC.
Oh, it's really, I think, yung saya na makatulong. You know, when you see the success, when you're adding, I remember my player in Signal, Bugawan, when I was able to add 5 inches on his jump and he was already a high flyer, that really makes you happy because you know it's successful what you're doing. So the small successes, the small victories, yan ang nagpapasaya sa mga SNC.
And for everybody's context, yung sa mga non-volleyball fans out there, JP Bugawan might just be the best middle blocker in the country nowadays in the men's division. At pag nag-hover kami ni Juanito ng basketball, nanonood po ng volleyball highlights yan sa gilid. Tinatansya yung talon ng kanyang mga players kung umaangat nga ba.
You know, even those 1 to 2 inches, importante yun eh, lalo na sa volleyball.
And of course, that applies in basketball as well.
You know, these are high-level athletes, pro-level itong mga to. You know, I was watching kanina si Warlo Batak. This is a guy that has the potential on being one of the most athletic here in the MPBL.
Maybe we could credit Coach Jerry Leon for that. As now, Muntinlupa unfortunately throws the ball away. Iloilo still has the advantage, 16-14.
Again, we are seeing a very slow second quarter. No one has been able to score here.
Only a free throw.
Oh yes,
the
one
second
free throw.
frame. No field goals. 1.5 minutes gone by. JR Ongteco onto his cutter, but he gave it up onto the wrong man. So we're back with the Cagers. Reverse layup. That doesn't work for Muntinlupa. That's Jacob Galicia, by the way. And this is Shaq Imperial missing. Battle for the loose ball. That's a foul on Chati Rangel.
One thing you can feel dito sa Iloilo is the loss of a scorer. You know, usually they give the ball to Mark Nonoy or CJ Cancino and everybody operates on the skill of the two. Even CJ Katapusan, you can give the ball to him and he is able to operate. Pero dito, someone needs to step up in terms of scoring and they can rely on him and be able to move around that one guy. But so far, no one has been able to adjust and step up para dito sa Iloilo.
It's good that you mentioned CJ Cancino. He is the #1 scorer of Iloilo. He's the #2 scorer in the entire MPBL, averaging 18 per game. And by the way, before he left, or before he became absent in the past couple of games for these Royals, he actually had a stretch of 4 games where he averaged 26 points per game. He was that hot for the Royals.
You know, there are born scorers and I think CJ Cancino is one of those. Yung talagang kahit anong angulo, he can find a way in getting those baskets.
So 2 points for Muntinlupa. That's why we now have a deadlock at 16. AJ Madrigal, catch and fire. That's a 3.
Finally, a basket para dito kay AJ Madrigal. He's been looking for that opportunity whole game long and finally he gets it from that right wing.
So one guy who's very familiar with AJ Madrigal is the brother of Juanito. That is Jaggy Gregorio. May mga kwento ba si Jaggy sa'yo tungkol kay AJ?
Oh, you know, actually, I'm actually much closer with AJ than
Okay.
Jaggy. No, AJ and I have been together. He was the kuya when I was the team manager of the Team B. So the captains were AJ and Prince Oliano. And this guy is very funny. Itong si AJ Madrigal. Even up to today, we would actually call each other, talk about the MPBL for hours. And hindi kami magsasawa because we love this league so much. We talk about all the teams. We talk about his team. And one thing about AJ, he's very passionate with what he does. And he really loves this team. And his loyalty is just on point para ito si AJ.
Okay, you mentioned him being funny. Coach Christian actually emphasized on him smiling while playing.
Oh.
He continues to do that, by the way, as he
Actually,
guards ito si Kevin Buenaflor.
Minsan mapapaisip ka, is he serious with how he plays? But that is actually just the character of AJ Madrigal.
Now this is Jasper Cuevas making a 3-pointer. He's up to 8 points now. And the lead is back down to 2 for Iloilo. Under 6 minutes, Alan Santos pounding his way through. Santos misfires.
What good defense on the inside. Might be undersized, but he stood his ground to get that stop there.
Galicia unable to get the bounce. That's a one-handed rebound by Alan Santos. This is J.R. Ongteco as the trailer. Short on the 3, but he gets the bounce.
Modern day stretch 4. Itong si J.R. Ongteco. A guy who can put the ball on the floor, but when he's wide open on that outside, can really stretch it out and shoot that shot.
That increases the lead back up to 5. It's 4 3-pointers now in this game for Iloilo out of 7 tries. Tamayo. They go to Ramirez. That's the shooter of Muntinlupa.
You know, you see his shot, you see the ball spin. This guy is a shooter. You can never leave Ramirez wide open because he has the guts, he has the confidence, he has the skill.
That's the first make of Josh Ramirez after 3 tries. And for him, being described as a shooter, kahit na 10 pang mintis niyan, titira pa rin
yes.
yan.
I was covering a game where he was already 0 out of 5, yet he was still the one trusted to take that last shot. It might have missed, but still the pure confidence galing dito kay Ramirez to take the shot. You need those in your team.
This 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Guy who transferred from Pasay onto Muntinlupa, finding a new home. This is J. Ongteco at the line. First free throw is no good. In terms of free throw shooting, it is 2 out of 5 so far for the Royals and 1 out of 2 for the Cagers. Teco is a 60% free throw shooter, but 0 out of 2 on that trip.
Actually, very rare para dito kay Jerome Teco. Usually, a very stable free throw shooter.
24-22. Bongay bounces it. Back with Gabe. So we still haven't seen Gwyn versus Gabe. A three-pointer for KB, Kevin Buenaflor.
That's going to be the fourth three-point shot made para dito sa Muntinlupa. Now the outside game is working this quarter for the Cagers.
Sorry, let's check that. It's a 2 apparently for Kevin Buenaflor. That's why the tally is 24 all. Ang Teco driving and feeding. There's a foul before that pass.
You gotta credit the bigs nitong Muntinlupa. They're all undersized. Everybody has only 6'4", 6'3". But every time they play terrific defense on the bigs on the other team.
There's the three-pointer by one of the vets of Muntinlupa, Kevin Buenaflor. It's him alongside Dave Moralde as the new leaders of these Cagers with the departure of Rocky Asidre. Franz Diaz gives it up to AJ Madrigal. Bounce pass of JR Teco. You can really see the size advantage that Tonito just pointed out. A three-pointer for De La Rosa. Short. Rebound to Bongay.
Not the best angles para dito kay Ray De La Rosa. Not really an angle he usually takes.
Under 4 minutes before halftime. Bongay being patient. Hand off to Gabe. Capascio will pull up. That's short. Madrigal will let it slide.
Gabe was looking for a foul there.
Gabe Capascio, though, is coming off of an ankle injury. He told me that in this game he would want to prove to us that he can be aggressive once more, feeling good with that foot.
Well, there was a stretch of games where he was in double digits each and every game. So alam natin ang capabilities nitong si Gabe Capascio. One of the best seasons for me para dito kay Gabe. He struggled the past season, played for passing, transferred here and there, but here he's very comfortable. I actually see the body language of Gabe, and you see the hustle. Itong si Gabe Capascio.
He did force that turnover. Capascio is now fouled.
Makes me proud. Itong si Gabe. Entering college, we were teammates in Team B in the UP for 2 years, and he was really hungry to get playing time, transfers to different schools. He was able to finally get some playing time for LaSalle and Letran, but here it's a different body language kay Gabe. It's more hungry, he's getting more opportunities, and he's very happy with the situation he has here sa Muntinlupa.
Did he play the same position back then? 2-3?
He was actually playing the 3 and 4. So medyo interchangeable. He was not as
I
athletic.
do remember that your team was small.
Oh yeah, we were small. I'm the point guard. It's bound to be small.
Gabe Capascio with his second free throw. Able to score. That would be point number 2 for him in this game.
Averaging 4.9 and 2 rebounds a ball game, but those numbers doesn't really show the impact of Gabe Capascio inside the court.
It is 26-24. Muntinlupa now has the advantage. Jed Diaz is blocked by Kevin Buenaflor.
Jed Diaz coming over from the Ateneo Team B. Very athletic, good shot blocker, but still needs to train his body to be able to compete with the physicality in the MPBL.
Now the timeout. 2-point advantage for the Cagers. Let's talk about Jasper Cuevas versus Imos. He had 16 points on better than 50% shooting from the field.
And Jasper Cuevas, one of the young guns dito ng Muntinlupa, but this guy is very, very competitive. You know, he doesn't care who's in front of him. A very good shooter. And at the end of the day, bata to ni Coach Louie, so you really know that the culture that he has, no fear against anyone.
8 points in this game so far, and we have a long way to go. 3 minutes before halftime. Muntinlupa now has the advantage, by the way, after Iloilo was in command for almost the entire game. They led by as many as 5. The Royals will have 9 seconds to work with. Baseline inbound. Alan Santos on the catch. Hand off to Shaq, given a lot of space off to the right. Balik tayo sa Muntinlupa. Win Capasio. Make that Gabe Capasio. Bounce pass onto Tamayo. Attacking. He got fouled. I feel bad for Jet Diaz. It's parang siya na yung natamaan.
Yes.
Pero siya pa yung may foul. Or was it Alan Santos? Yes, it's Diaz.
Actually not the usual option para dito sa Muntinlupa. Usually the bigs are gonna give that up on the high post or on the cutters, but nakita ni Tamayo that he had an advantage on the size against Jed Diaz, so he really took it strong here.
Tamayo at the line. The first one is good. A couple of games back, he was the best player in Pampanga for Muntinlupa. He averages 4 points and 4 rebounds per game. The former Pasig City player. 70% free throw shooting. Sakto, no? Nung binanggit ko yun, doon siya nagpintis.
On point. Actually, kahapon si Javi, he was 2 of 2. Yung binabanggit niya at 91%, sakto mintis.
You know, with my track record, I think I'm 95 out of 100 in terms of these jinxes. We have a foul called. Justin Alano will now check in. 2 minutes and 17 remaining in the second quarter. Later on, it's Manila versus Mindoro. And then for our main event, Caloocan will defend its home court against the Bataan Risers. The buzzer sounded multiple times. We're waiting for a substitution.
Medyo nagkakagulo sila on that substitution table. Nagkalito-lito na.
By the way, the Capasios are now on the floor. Although they're not guarding each other.
Oh, they are not playing the same position here.
Imperial attacking right, 6 on the shot clock. Shaq Imperial misfires. And here's Gabe. Forward. Back to Capasio, a corner 3. That's short. Rebound onto Doliguez.
One of the few times na mabilis ang opensa nitong Muntinlupa.
Imperial on the other end. Tough pass. That goes out of bounds.
Not the best decision para dito kay Shaq Imperial. That was well defended on the roll of Alan Santos.
Oh, I thought Gabe Capasio was going to be subbed out. He's going to stay. We want more moments.
Yes, actually. Ayun, magbabantayan sila.
Oh, it's a turnover though for Iloilo.
Miscommunication. Shaq can't really see where he was giving that ball up.
Before we continue, Coach Mixon Ramos calls for time. His team is up by 3. 1-4-3 is the time remaining before halftime. Presenting the next 3 games of the Muntinlupa Cagers. They will go inside the Cuneta Astrodome on August 15 to take on the Pasay Voyagers. And then on August 17, they will take on Marquis, Roy Sumang, and the rest of the Abra Weavers. On August 21, sina Renz Palma naman, sina Coach Bonnie Garcia, at ang Negros Muscovados para kina Coach Mixon Ramos. Right now, their foe, Iloilo, has the same record as them, 7-13. And rightfully so, we have a 1-possession game in Caloocan. Gabe Capasio bounces to Makoy Marcos. 10 on the shot clock. Gabe, where will they go? Pass to the middle. Bongay, 4 seconds. Makoy, 2 seconds. Marcos pulls up. That's short.
Interesting for Iloilo, suddenly going on a zone.
Well, it worked for them. On the other end though, Doliguez was unable to score, but they will keep possession.
In the story of the ball game para dito sa Iloilo, a lot of good attacks near the basket. Hindi lang nila maipasok ang kanilang mga atake. That's already 4 missed layups for Iloilo here in this ball game.
The ironic thing about their shooting is their 3-point shooting percentage is at 45%, while their 2-point shooting is only at 33%. Jack Imperial from way out. No bounce, rebound, Gwyn Capasio. That's out of bounds in favor of the white shirts.
Opportunity once again para dito sa Muntinlupa to get a shot up and extend this lead. This quarter for Iloilo, only 8 points, a real struggle offensively. The scorers of Iloilo really not showing here.
It's the pace of Muntinlupa after all, who do average 67 points per game. Iloilo, on the other end, by the way, came from their lowest scoring game this season, the 55 that they had versus Abra. Right now, they're not even on pace to score 50.
One of the reasons really is the loss of the main scorers of Iloilo. You have Cancino, you have Katapusan, you have Nonoy. So medyo masakit talaga because someone is needed to step up in terms of scoring for Iloilo.
Right now, Coach Japskuan will draw up a play, 27-24. Tomorrow is going to be a big day for the MPBL as we travel back to Nueva Ecija. Palayan City, the Rice Vanguards will defend their home court against Coach Gerson Cabiltes, Hesed Gabo, Michael Wico, and the rest of the Pangasinan Heatwaves. But before that, how about the second game? Batangas versus Zamboanga. Those two faced each other in the South Finals a couple of years ago. And then it's Davao versus Sarangani to kick things off.
Well, it's a really good game. A Mindanao show off, two good Southern Division teams for the second game, and of course the return in the third game. It's gonna be a beautiful game. Ooh. And that will hurt. Yan ang pinakamasakit sa ulo. You call a timeout and it turns into a turnover. As a head coach, that is what you hate the most because you're so sure of the execution, then it turns into a turnover.
So now Muntinlupa has a chance to convert. There's a 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Flores up top to Marcos. Bacoy. Bounce pass. Alano. 6 seconds. Marcos fires. High looper. Way off. Offensive rebound and the putback.
Right place at the right place at the right time. Itong si Errol Bongay.
2 seconds. Gwyn Capasio unable to score with a 3-pointer. And so Muntinlupa is in full control. They're up by 5. And the second quarter totally belonged to them. 16-8.
That second quarter really outpowered by Muntinlupa, controlling the pace, able to play terrific defense. Iloilo on the other end needs to be able to adjust here in their half-court meeting. The halftime meeting, but it's going to be a real struggle for Iloilo going forward.
This halftime score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball and big partner of the MPBL. That's the ending. GameX.
Welcome back to the MPBL. This is our Friday triple header. My name is Sydney Crespo. Nito tayo sa halftime. Kasama ko ang team managers of our two teams with the same win-loss record, 7 wins, 13 losses. We have Sir Vince Harder for Muntinlupa and Sir Jay Havelosa for Iloilo. Unahin ko muna si Sir Vince. Sir, your team is on a winning streak. Ano ba yung magandang pinapakita nila recently?
Siguro it's basically yung consistency lang nila sa practice, no? And syempre yung desire ng team na to enter the playoffs, no? So right now we have a very good chance of entering our playoffs. So yun lang, ang motivation din kasi is yung support lagi ng team owners namin who's always been there for us no, all throughout the season. Talagang hindi niya pinabayaan yung team. No? So I think that's the reason why we're on a 2-game winning streak.
So doble effort at consistency para sa remaining games. Sir Vince, may mga babatiin ka ba?
Yeah, I would like to greet our City Mayor, si Mayor Rufy Biason, si City Admin Alan Cachuela, our team owner, si Mr. and Mrs. Kaiser Galvez, Grace Galvez, Aya Saicon, Attorney Jemsi, ang sponsors namin, Elberg and Paramount, which is owned by Tita Prosi, yung Preya Moto District, Smile 360, si Doc Mike Gonzalez, Maven Clothing, si Sir Nico and Sir Vince, and then La Germania, Tito Rex, and si Tito Nap, and I want to greet my wife also, si Dailin.
Sir Vince, thank you so much for your time. Sa kabilang banda naman, Sir Jay, kailangan ng manalo ng Iloilo after losing 4 straight games. How important is this game today?
Very important. As mentioned, we have the same record as Muntinlupa. And then I think we're 3 games behind the 8th spot, Negros. So it's very important if we want to reach the playoffs.
Sir Jay, anyone you want to greet?
First, I'd like to greet my fiancée, Natalie, watching back home. And I'd like to greet Senator Manny Pacquiao. Thank you for the MPBL, sir. And then I'd like to greet my dad, Boss JJ, my mom, and then all my siblings. And I'd like to greet Bagong Kalibo Mayor, Jury Sucro. And then Iloilo City Congresswoman Jan Baronda. And I'd like to greet all our sponsors, GameX Sports, Victoria Sports Tower, Jerry's Grill, and all the supporters of and the fans of Iloilo. Keep supporting the Iloilo United Royals and the MPBL.
Sir Jay, thank you so much for joining me here at the Half. Mga kaliga, wag po nga alas. Magbabalik ang MPBL.
Our halftime score is 29-24 in favor of the Muntinlupa Cagers. We've been talking about it. This is their pace after all.
Slow ball, Muntinlupa way. The slow ball is really working towards Muntinlupa right now.
The lower the score, the better it is for the Cagers. Right now, Iloilo's not even on pace to surpass their season low of 55 points versus Abra. Even the Cagers are not on pace to reach their season average, which is the lowest in the MPBL, but they will still take it.
But that's going to be in favor of Muntinlupa. As you were saying, the slower the pace, that's going to be an advantage of the Cagers. Look at the fast break points, 2 apiece. Meaning we really are playing kahapon ng mga laro, lahat nagtatakbuhan. But today, the slower the better for Muntinlupa. But look at the other numbers, 34% only for Iloilo in terms of their field goals. Muntinlupa playing team basketball, 11 assists already here in the ball game, as well as 6 second chance points. So Muntinlupa playing a terrific ball game against a very talented team in Iloilo.
By the way, the 2 fast break points of Iloilo came at the start of this game. Kanina pa talaga yon, and so it has been great dictation by these Cagers. As now, we turn you over to Sidney Crespo.
Do you want the opportunity or not? This was the simple question inside the Iloilo locker room. Assistant Coach Makuan reminded the guys that sometimes it's not about the X's and O's, pero yung willingness para lumaban sa sarili. Of course, we cannot deny the fact that the Iloilo United Royals are still adjusting without their best scorers. But let's see whether this gentle reminder will be enough to snap their losing streak. Back to you guys.
We really have to accept the fact that you would imagine matindi ang nangyari sa locker room ng Iloilo. When I even talked to Coach Japs Kuan, paglabas niya, halos hirap siyang sumagot. So, I tried to twist it. Tinanong ko na lang siya, sino yung mga nakapagbigay ng positive sa'yo? And his first answer was the guy who just scored for them in JR Onteco. Unfortunately, Justin Alano will now respond for Muntinlupa.
You know, this is a team that is still adjusting itong Iloilo. So, they're still trying to look for that next man up. And JR Onteco seems to be a guy that is willing to do it. You saw it right away. You saw it on the defensive end. He showed the effort. Sumobra nga lang ng kanyang palo. Ito si JR Onteco.
It is 32-26 after that made free throw by Justin Alano. We're back with Onteco. Getting it up to Ray De La Rosa against Gabe Capacio. AJ Madrigal matched up against Makoy Marcos. 7 on the shot clock. Franz Diaz. Screen by Onteco. Diaz still has it. Nice block by Justin Alano.
Justin Alano loving that block. And Franz Diaz thought that Justin Alano was just too short, but no problem. Look at that power block.
Iloilo had 2 seconds to work with off of that baseline inbound. The ball went out of bounds. As you get to see our block story, 3-0. That's good for Muntinlupa because they're dead last in the league in shot blocking, only averaging 1.5 per game.
It's not really the strength of Muntinlupa. This is a team with a lot of undersized bigs, so rim protection is not really the strength, but you see the effort, you see the willingness to defend para dito para sa Cagers.
We have our first challenge today. It's going to be on that previous out-of-bounds play. So we shall find out which team will get possession after this short break.
Upon review, the challenge was successful. Ball
Challenge
possession.
successful for Coach Dixon Ramos and the Muntinlupa Cagers. It is last touch, Alan Santos, after all.
You know, the few games I've covered itong Muntinlupa, every time they challenge, it's almost automatic. They know when and where to challenge. So they do have a really good challenge system, if I may say.
Well, if you ask me, I give credit to their assistant coaches.
Oo, to.
Those are the usual eyes who would try to convince their head coach to challenge. Pass inside on the high-low. Makoy Marcos, tough shot, no good.
Well, they might be in the lead, but McCoy Marcos is actually struggling offensively here in this ballgame. You still haven't seen the usual scoring load para dito kay McCoy.
He has only scored 2 points. His season high was 25 versus Val City, a game where he had 5 rebounds, 9 assists, and 4 steals as well. This is Rai De La Rosa, unable to convert. Iloilo is shooting. Let me check the clip. It's at near 30% in this game, while it's near 45% for Muntinlupa. Flores lost the ball. Can they run? Here come the Royals. AJ Madrigal all the way. That's a foul.
Quick recovery by Alfred Flores to try and challenge itong si AJ Madrigal. Not really known as a finisher. Like kung niloloko yan eh. But of course, shooting elite. Parito AJ.
Since you're close to him, what's the underrated part or maybe taken for granted part in the game of AJ Madrigal, as this free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas?
No, this guy can defend. You know, we know him as a shooter, but he has the length. Mahaba rin ang wingspan ito ni AJ Madrigal, and he actually has the physicality. So, he is a little bit of a 3-and-D, but in college and even in the Green Hills, he was better known as a 3 guy. So, someone who really will will spot up and get his threes going. But AJ is actually very physical, very disciplined with his body, with his strength and conditioning. So props naman kay AJ na madisiplina sa kanyang katawan.
Back with Muntinlupa, 32-27. That's a steal for Madrigal. We just talked about his defense. Unfortunately, he lost space.
Right on cue. AJ Madrigal showing that we need to talk about his defense much more.
He is one of our sizable wing players.
Yes, at around 6'3", 6'3 and a half. Itong si AJ.
Bounce pass on to Errol Bongay. They swing it over to Dave Moralde. They go to Alfred Flores. That's a 3.
Alfred Flores is one guy that made a name for himself this season. Entering the season, I will admit, I did not have any idea who Alfred Flores was. And on the first game I covered him, 15 points right away. I had to do my research, and this guy is an MVP and really showing out here in the season. Ito si Alfred Flores.
He averages 13 points per game, including a 12, 11, and 7 stat line versus Imos. Flores will now miss. Forward pass for Iloilo. They're running, which is what they have been wanting to do. A sorry miss again. And there is a foul, a push apparently by Franz Diaz.
Same problem, same result para dito sa Iloilo. Their sorry misses have been crucial. They've missed 5 layups already here in the ball game, and that could have been 10 easy points para dito sa Iloilo.
They are 6 out of 20 in terms of their 2-point shots. The push was, yes, by the point guard. Tumalsik ng kaunti. Itong si Bacoy Marcos.
It's the physicality. Sabi nga na konting gulang na binigay ni Franz Diaz, but very sharp eyes for our referees.
Jasper Cuevas. Tabayo. That's steal number 2 for AJ Madrigal. Bounce pass and the foul. That's basket and 1 for Franz Diaz.
Gotta credit AJ Madrigal for that whole play. He made the steal, he made the assist, and Franz Diaz finishes with that basket and the foul. We have to be able to watch that again. AJ Madrigal reading the passing lane, seeing that there were numbers, gets to that bounce pass, and Franz Diaz finishes with a foul counted.
This is our fast break of the game, brought to you by Sports Max, powered by Playmax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. Iloilo has been waiting for that ad since the first quarter. That is fast break points, or those are fast break points number 4, 5, and 6 for the Royals.
Finally, Iloilo is able to run here, able to do a mini run for them to be able to come back here in the game.
Suzuki, the official motorcycle partner of the MPBL. Satellite and original broadcast partner. C Plus and Secure Water, the official hydration partner. And DMX, the official online ending partner. The first and original online basketball ending sa Pinas, GameX.
This fan of the game is brought to you by Jinky Skin. We have a couple of beautiful ladies present here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex, including our courtside reporter, Sidney Crespo. This is Mix Gomez at your service with Juanito, Paulo, Gregorio at the sideline. It's 35-30. 4 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Baseline drive, Makoy Marcos demolishing Alan Santos.
And that's how I knew itong si Makoy Marcos. But way back in high school, even early in his college days, he didn't have a lot of craft in his game, but he always had that strong body. So he would bulldoze his way through anyone. Kaso si Alan Santos yan. Matalino talaga sa depensa si Alan Santos.
And when Alan Santos goes down, more often than not, you basically will be called for a foul. Kuya Alan, back at it. That's a good defense by Errol Bongay. Jasper Cuevas up top. Muntinlupa is still up by 5. Although, in this quarter, Iloilo has done fairly well. Off of another stop, Rai De La Rosa lobs it in. Alan Santos will finish.
A good find by Rai De La Rosa on the trailing Alan Santos. Perfectly on the spot where he just needs to put that ball up. And this lead is down to 3 para dito sa Iloilo.
So this is their response to the words given by Coach Jap Scuan and supported by Sydney.
Actually, there's better body language being played by Iloilo. Really waking up after a very bad first half.
How about Jasper Cuevas? Hindi magpapahuli sa kabila. 10 points now for him.
Is he the first guy in double digits here in this ball game? I think he is. 10 points and 3 rebounds for Jasper Cuevas.
Second leading scorer is J.R. Teco with 7, and Errol Bongay with 6 is the third. AJ Madrigal, have yourself a quarter.
AJ playing one of his best games here in the MPBL. Already 6 points here in the ball game, able to get 2 steals. And right there, AJ was the one forcing that stop once again.
That's a total of 4 turnovers in this quarter alone associated with AJ Madrigal. Display of the game is brought to you by Suzuki. By De La Rosa. And a beautiful feed onto Alan Santos for that gimme. It's a one-possession game here in Caloocan after the beautiful play of Iloilo. Bounce pass. One more. Jay Havelosa. He was just inserted in. Now he will shoot free throws.
Medyo malamig pa si Boss Jay dito. But that was a good find once again coming from Rai De La Rosa. Off that cut through the middle, a mini high-low play from Rai going to Jay.
There you see his parents. Havelosa's looking very happy here in Caloocan. By the way, I've waited for this moment na mag-partner tayo at tino-cover natin si Jay. Kasi naglaro po kami ni Juanito dati sa QCAA.
Yes.
When we were playing for Claret. This guy was actually a known name in that tournament.
He was
playing for Ateneo.
He was elite. Jay was one of the best talents in our batch. He was actually tall already for his age, and he already had a dribble. He was modern day before the modern day. He was just hampered by a lot of injuries throughout his college career. But you know, he's known as Boss Jay. But in my mind, he's still the star player of Ateneo that killed us a lot of times in grade school.
Actually, before I faced Big Mike Nieto, it was Big J. Havelosa.
That's right.
In my mind.
That's right. Ano yun slow transition to the next batch yun from J. Havelosa, Mike Gamboa, then slowly going to Mike Nieto.
Joshua Ramirez just made a 3-pointer, by the way. The lead is back up to 5. Under 4 minutes in the third. Havelosa onto Alan Santos. Couple of fakes. Santos shaking off Errol Bongay, and he scores. That's a highlight for you, Alan Santos.
I've watched this guy for a long time. I've never seen that move from Alan Santos. Usually, a back down or a put back or getting the ball inside. Pero may step back pala yan si Alan Santos.
And that's why he had to celebrate with his tongue out after the conversion. Jasper Cuevas misfires. Rebound onto Bongay. Just great timing by that man. Cuevas almost traveled. Jasper in trouble. 7 on the shot clock. It's gonna be a steal. 2-on-1. De La Rosa. Madrigal. Back to Rai, who will shoot and score.
Good score by Rai De La Rosa. Even with the recovery of Muntinlupa, 4 white shirts were able to recover, but Rai De La Rosa with enough English to get that board in.
It is now 40-39. Muntinlupa's biggest lead was 8, by the way. But now there's a foul call as Ramirez went down.
It's a body bump on the middle part dito kay Ramirez. Let's see who it will come from. But first, it's Alan Santos.
Shaken big for Kuya Alan. And can we see the celebration? Mukhang hindi na. Ito ang sumunod na play para sa Iloilo on the break. Once again, it's AJ Madrigal making things happen alongside Rai De La Rosa. We have a review ongoing, by the way.
One thing that's different is that Iloilo is just enjoying the game. You see the different body language, and now they are on a good run and possibly even get the lead the next few possessions.
Alan Santos, take your well-deserved breather. Pahinga ka muna dyan. He's looking at us, by the way. I hope that gets into the top 10 plays of the week. Minsan lang mula kay Alan. It is 40-39 with 2 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the third. So the foul will be called on Iloilo's number 14.
They just looked if there were extra motions na naganap. That's non-basketball, but looks like it's just a clean basketball play.
Check that. The foul was on number 15, Alan Santos. Medyo malupit yung buzzer na yun. They really had to make sure that our players will return now on the court.
Parang libreng timeout sa mga coach yan eh. So papatagalin talaga yan eh. Style ko rin yan eh pag may review. You want to be able to get an execution while not burning a timeout.
Back with Demo against the zone of Iloilo. A three-pointer. That is short. Rebound, Chadi Rangel. He's the other spark plug who Coach Japscoan mentioned to me in the first half.
How tall is this 5 para dito sa Iloilo? You have Jaya Velosa, Chadi Rangel, and Gwyn Capascio, all above 6'4", here all inside the court.
And you have a 6'2" shooting guard in Madrigal as Capascio misfires.
And they want to be able to take control of this height advantage. They want to go tall here towards the last 2 minutes of the third quarter.
Alfred Flores brings it down. Moralde. Flores. This is a 1-2-2, right?
Oh yes. They're trying to limit the shooters of Muntinlupa, and they were successful in that last play.
You know, at some point I was questioning whether it was a 1-2-2 or a 3-2. Can you explain it to us the difference between those two, not just the appearance?
Actually, there's not much difference on the two. The point of both of those defenses are to limit the shooters of the team, and kung walang strong inside presence, you would give up that. So you would go and stretch it out and defend all the angles of the three-pointer. So that's totally different from the 2-3 zone. If someone is strong, you want to be able to close it down.
Here come the Royals. Gwyn Capascio is fouled, and this is a chance for them to grab the lead.
I love the aggressiveness being brought in by Iloilo here in the third quarter. A different pace they are now running itong Iloilo. We started out the third quarter only with 2 fast break points, but here in this quarter, 8 in total para dito sa Iloilo.
Capascio adding to the tally with his first made free throw. Iloilo actually led by as many as 5 in the first half. They were in control for 8 minutes in the game. Now they're back in the driver's seat. Babalik dito si Omar Larupay. No, Larupay actually, he has quite an interesting stat line this season. When it comes to games that he plays more than 10 minutes. He scores more than 10 points. But less than 10 minutes, he's scoreless.
So dapat dito babad or
Oo,
nothing.
parang
babad,
ganun, oo.
babad or nothing.
That's in the last 6 games, by the way. Yun ang sample size ko para kay Omar Larupay.
But we already have high expectations dito kay Omar Larupay because he already showed us that he can carry this team to victories. Again, going back to the season last year, they were fighting for a playoff spot and Omar Larupay for a stretch really stepped up as the star para dito sa Iloilo. So we know that he has the capability to be one of those main guys para dito sa Iloilo.
To my knowledge, he was the player of the week back then. Yung ginawa niya yun. Now, Quinn Capascio is back at the stripe for 2 more. First one went in and out. We're still waiting for a Gwyn Gabe moment, by the way. Wala pa rin. But now, they're together on the floor.
And both of them are struggling on the field right now. Gabe has missed his past few jump shots. Now Gwyn has missed a few free throws. They need to learn from their brother Mikey, probably the best shooter among the 3.
I love that you mentioned that as Javilosa got fouled. Just so everybody knows, si Mikey yung nasa gitna.
Yes.
Si Gwyn ang panganay at si Gabe ang bunso. And in the words of the bunso, the best and worst asset of his kuya, Gwyn, ay ang kanyang pagiging mabait na tao. Minsan daw, taken for granted ang bait. Pero dahil mabait siya bilang kuya, naramdaman niya yung care ng kanyang panganay.
They're actually a very close-knit family. I see a lot of family pictures being posted by Gabe. So, you know that this is really gonna be just a basketball battle between the 2 of them.
I'm sure maraming family pictures din ang Javilosa family who have been present for a couple of seasons now in the MPBL representing Iloilo. Off of Jay's free throws, we're back with Muntinlupa. It is 42-40. Under 50 seconds, Bacoy Marcos fires. Short, nice box shot by Errol Bongay. And he gets those 2 points. Unfortunately, he tweaked his ankle.
That's going to be the weakness of the zone. There really will be spots where the rebounding will go the side of the offensive team. Bongay has been playing terrific. He was in the right space, on the right spot.
He has 11 rebounds already to his name with his 8 points.
Quiet ball game by Errol Bongay, yet very effective. Pero masakit to para sa kanila because he has been able to protect that paint.
Of the 11 rebounds, by the way, 5 came from the offensive end. Let's hope that he will be able to return. Right now, he's being watched over by his co-assistant coach in JRU, RJ Arenal. But Lester Tamayo will have to check in for Errol. It looks worrisome for Muntinlupa, especially at this point because Iloilo has gotten their groove in the 3rd quarter.
You need all the help you can have. Lalo na ngayon, ang Iloilo is trying to pound it inside. But now, JV Kapunan will be given an opportunity on the line. Fun fact, JV Kapunan is actually a far relative of mine.
Oh, okay. Meron ka rin bang singing talent?
Oh, wala.
He's a singer, right?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's actually my uncle. Itong si JV
talaga?
Kapunan. He's a second cousin of my dad.
That's ironic. Young JB is your tito.
Yes. And he is also the cousin of the team manager of Quezon, si Don Kapunan.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Attorney Don, shout out to you, by the way. We love you so much. Kita natin yung kanyang emosyon noong Wednesday sa panalo ng Quezon Huskers. But back to this game, Omar Larupay leaning in. He got fouled. Basket and 1.
He gets his first point. We're assuming that he will be getting more than 10 minutes here in this ball game.
Let's see if the trend will continue for him. He has played 6 minutes so far. Those are his first 2 points in this game with 2 rebounds as well.
Very crucial free throws para dito kay Omar Larupay entering the 4th frame. Iloilo was able to get a very good run here in the 3rd quarter.
They have outscored Muntinlupa 21-13 in this frame. 6 seconds to go. Capascio onto Flores for 3. Oh, that's a 4-point play opportunity.
That's huge. That's a good ball swing para dito sa Muntinlupa. You see the action they're playing. The first option is that post area. You want to be able to adjust the defense to one side and be able to quickly swing it on the other side. Late help, late recovery by Gwyn Capascio. That's gonna end in a foul and a basket para dito kay Alfred Flores.
Did you notice the release point of Alfred Flores?
It's a push shot, actually.
It's a push shot.
It's a one-motion shot.
It kind of reminds me of Stephen Curry.
Yes, my resemblance. Yes, that's right.
Who is his idol, by the way. So at least he's able to reflect some from the greatest shooter of all time.
Baka wala pang tulog to. Baka nanood pa ng Olympics
Kaya
to
nga.
last night.
That was a big win by the US as Gwyn Capascio wasn't able to convert from half court. And so, after 30 minutes of play, the score is 46-45.
What we thought was Iloilo gonna enter the fourth quarter with the lead. All of a sudden, the 4-point play suddenly gives Muntinlupa that lead.
These highlights of the game are brought to you by Sim Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
Cuevas, Bongay, Ramirez, everybody chipping in for them to be able to do the scoring load, especially in the first half. These three really stepped up and took control, and eventually they were able to get the lead. Muntinlupa on pace on getting a win here in this ball game.
Although moving forward, they might not be able to have Errol Bongay anymore because of that sprained ankle. We'll look to hear from Sidney Crespo later on. This third quarter score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Presenting our Suzuki muscular and sporty fans of the game, just like the Avenus, do more and achieve more with a muscular and sporty scooter from Suzuki. The Avenus, oras na para magmotor. We are coming back to you live from the Caloocan Sports Complex. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Juanito Gregorio and Sidney Crespo. It is Muntinlupa versus Iloilo, both with a record of 7 wins and 13 losses. But in terms of streaks, Iloilo has a 4-game losing streak while it's back-to-back wins for Muntinlupa.
See that scoring here per quarter. In the first 2 quarters, the pace was really controlled by Muntinlupa. Everybody was playing slow, but Iloilo in the third quarter eventually said we need to be able to outrun Muntinlupa. Was able to outscore 21-17 alongside 8 fast break points para dito sa Iloilo.
Actually, they were even able to add 5 more. It was a total of 13 fast break points in the third quarter for the Royals.
Really the running game going the side of Iloilo. So let's see if Muntinlupa can go back to their slow game, because that has been working for them in the first 2 quarters of the game.
But Iloilo will continue to be on a good note because of that unsportsmanlike foul on the run. Omar Darupay will be shooting free throws. He actually had a teammate up ahead. That's why it was ruled as an unspo.
This is where you see the inexperience of some of the players.
But speaking of experience, we just saw our VIPs, Emer Oreta, Rudy Distrito, and Kenneth Duremdes at the sideline. Ito po ang nangyari.
See here, there were numbers there. There was someone ahead, and you can see Alfred Flores forced a foul there to try and stop it. But they're lucky that Omar Larupay will be missing 2 free throws here, but the ball will go back to Iloilo for an opportunity for them to extend this lead.
46-45, Larupay. On to Young JV. Pass inside. Gwyn Capascio was held.
They really want to be able to take advantage of the height nitong si Gwyn Capascio against Kevin Win of floor. So they're trying to set him up on that middle part, maybe on a good post action.
And he is a good post player after all. Even Gabe would tell us about that. Young JV, a 3-pointer off to the right. Another foul in the battle for the rebound. It's going to be on Chadi Rangel.
not the best execution para dito sa Iloilo. They were not able to locate the option they wanted in Gwyn Capasio. So, JB... Oh!
It's on Lester Tamayo.
Actually, everybody was surprised because, number one, Muntinlupa went down, even us.
I was weirded out because the referees did not even tell them to not go down. So we shall continue. Capasio against Kevin Buenaflor. Good help by McCoy. That's a steal. Forward pass. It's just too long for Alfred Flores.
That hurts because that was a good help side action by McCoy Marcos to eventually maybe go for a fast break. Kaso masyadong malakas ang pasa that will end a turnover.
It's only 2 fast break points in this game for Muntinlupa. They're not known for running after all. Same tally. Handoff up top to Gwyn Capasio against Kevin Buenaflor. 10 on the shot clock. Gwyn using the screen. There's a foul. Sumundot itong si McCoy.
Maybe he thought na maulit niya yung kanyang steal in the fast possession. They're trying to set up Gwyn Capasio. He is the best scorer available para din sa Iloilo inside the court. But now he will be getting some help with Rai De La Rosa and AJ Madrigal returning in the ballgame.
Two teams get taller as Joshua Ramirez returns. But AJ Madrigal will be the shooting guard once again for the United Royals. De La Rosa. Bounce pass onto Gwyn. Back to Rai. 5 on the shot clock. De La Rosa behind the back. Elbow shot. Short. Here come the Cagers. Alfred Flores, 1-on-1. Flores all the way for 2.
Might not be a running team, but Alfred Flores can definitely outrun any individual here in Iloilo.
That's 10 points in this game for Flores. Larupay was blocked. And now, Capasio just fouled RJ Arenal.
Iloilo trying to answer right away. Under 5 seconds, Omar Larupay tried to take it strong, but that will end the miss.
This fast break of the game is brought to you by Sports Max, powered by Playmax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. After Flores continuing with his good ways, after scoring only 7 points in his opening game in the MPBL versus Sarangani, he has scored in double figures in 8 out of their last 11 games.
A talent we are gonna be watching towards the next few seasons. Itong si Alfred Flores.
48-45. Flores. Screen by Tamayo. 10 seconds. Flores leans in. Too strong. Rebound Larupay. That's board number 4 for Omar. AJ Madrigal. Screen by Alan Santos. Capasio. On to Rai De La Rosa. 9 seconds. Capasio. Trying to make a move against Tamayo. Bounce pass onto the cutter. Sorry miss, but the putback is there for Rai De La Rosa.
Good recovery by Rai De La Rosa. He already knew na medyo mahina ang kanyang tira, but he was quick on the second jump, getting that offensive rebound in the bucket.
48-47 now. Ramirez onto Tamayo. Cross court. Flores up top. Josh, that's a good look. Too strong. Offensive rebound. 3 minutes gone by in the fourth. Flores, Curry range. Yes, sir.
Can never leave him open on the middle. He knows that if you give him enough space, he's going to take it, he's going to make it, and that's going to be the third 3 of Alfred Flores here in the game.
Total of 13 points for Alfred. Off of a mad scramble, here come the Cagers. Flores serving, passing, Ramirez all day. Bombs away.
As they say, shooters shoot. Ramirez has missed his last 2, but running right away to his spot, he knew that he was going to be given a chance by Alfred Flores. 2 straight threes, 7-point lead para sa Muntinlupa.
How about this swing for the Cagers? Able to respond quickly. Flores is making things happen, not only with the scoring, but with his passing ability as well. And for Josh Ramirez, even though he just missed a while ago, we did mention he will continue to shoot.
You know, these guys are just ready every time they're given an opportunity, and so far Flores and Ramirez making it work. 54-47 in favor of Muntinlupa.
Welcome back to the MPBL. Last weekend was Rai De La Rosa's first time in Abra and he expressed how refreshing it was to travel and still do what he loves. Though the game didn't go as he had hoped, it only fueled his determination to improve as a player. Mga kaliga, baka nakakalimutan nyo na this season is Rai's first full run in the MPBL as he left early last year as an SGL. Now, despite the challenges and adjustments, Rai's composure remains a key asset. Hindi daw siya nape-pressure o pinipressure yung sarili niya. Instead, he is taking this as a learning opportunity. Now, as for Errol Bongay, 6 out of 10 daw ang pain na kanyang right ankle. He was asking permission from Coach Alex Calueng kung pwedeng pumasok na siya ulit. Sabi ni Coach Alex, okay ka na agad. Sabi niya, gusto mo bang manalo, Coach? Kaya pa raw niya kung papayagan. What do you think, Migs, Juanito?
You gotta love that. Thank you, Sydney. But we're still waiting as to whether or not Errol Bongay will still return in this game. It's good also that she talked about Rai De La Rosa. Right now, he has such big responsibilities on his shoulders as he drives, and he got fouled.
Better execution, pero medyo masikip yung angulo ni Rai De La Rosa on that last play. But he's lucky, he's gonna get a push here.
Free throws already for Rai De La Rosa on his first full season in the MPBL. By the way, we're still waiting to see as to how his career will come about with Magnolia alongside his brother.
Drafted in the 3rd round, itong si Rai De La Rosa, but now that he's waiting, this is still a good opportunity for him to prove himself here in the MPBL.
This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. That trims the lead down to 5 points, 6 minutes and change. Cuevas bringing it down against that usual zone of Iloilo. Justin Alano, cross court. Bacoy blocked by Gwyn Capasio.
Good recognition by Gwyn Capasio on that corner. Far pass, but recovery by Gwyn.
Sideline inbound. 6 on the shot clock. Alano, hand off to Cuevas. Jasper fires. Off to the left, rebound De La Rosa. A 3-on-1 break. De La Rosa feeds Capasio. Sorry, miss.
That's gonna hurt. That was 3 against 1.
Marcos on the other end. Soaring and missing. Alano for the putback. Still no good. Pressure applied. Unfortunately, that's a foul, which means free throws already for Iloilo.
Iloilo is lucky that itong Muntinlupa was not able to convert on that 5 against 3. But that will hurt. That was already a gimme. Wide open on the 3 against 1. That was actually a very good pass coming from Rai De La Rosa. But I don't think the left hand is a comfort zone of Gwyn.
Well, he's actually arguing that he was fouled. Now he'll be shooting free throws. He's 2 out of 4 so far from the stripe. Although Iloilo is only at 11 out of 24. 13 misses from the line and they're down by 4 points.
Gwyn Capasio now with 6 points, 5 rebounds. Very well-balanced offense para dito sa Iloilo. Their highest scorer in Rai De La Rosa only has 10. Gwyn has 6. Santos has 6. Madrigal has 6. So everybody chipping in para dito sa Iloilo.
Almost everybody has scored, by the way. 11 players in total for them. Oh no, I'm looking at the Muntinlupa stat sheet. So 11 for Muntinlupa and then it's 10 for Iloilo. Well balanced.
Still a lot of guys to helping out para dito sa Iloilo.
54-51. Josh Ramirez going to RJ Arenal. Onto the corner. Cuevas. Passing on to Flores. 4 seconds. Inside. Alano. No bounce for him. Iloilo only down by 3 here. It's AJ Madrigal. Yes, sir.
Shoot or shoot. That's what we've been saying the whole ball game long. On an early break like that, you have to be able to go right away towards your position, and AJ was able to do that in that last play.
This should be AJ Madrigal's best MPBL game so far. And remember, he was the one who started it all with a couple of fast break opportunities in the 3rd quarter.
2 steals in the 3rd quarter. Let's watch that again. Gwyn playing point guard, going to the left wing. AJ Madrigal steady, ready for the 3. Ties this ball game at 54. 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals para kay AJ Madrigal.
Justin Alano is at the stripe. It is 54 all with under 5 minutes to go. Two teams with similar records, 7 wins and 13 losses. Rightfully so, we are back to square one. Franz Diaz pushing. Diaz feeding De La Rosa. Wow, back-to-back threes for Iloilo.
And all of a sudden, Iloilo now with the lead here in the ball game. They're able to run, they're able to lead. That has been the game plan. And if you can follow the game plan, good things are bound to happen. Franz Diaz goes for the drive. De La Rosa lifts, De La Rosa shoots, De La Rosa makes. And now Iloilo up 3 here in the ball game.
This is turning out to be another game wherein if we have the opportunity to select 2 best players, we would. A great showing for the United Royals, 57-54. Now we have the next 3 games of Iloilo. It's not going to be easy. First, they will go to Brenzi to take on our defending champions. And then on August 22, the Rizal Golden Coolers, who are one of the steadiest units that we have seen in our campaign so far. And then that driven Pangasinan team at late August.
Can be a very tough next 3 games. So they have to be able to start out with enough confidence here in this ball game.
And Juanito did mention these 2 teams are 4 games behind the number 8 seed in the South Division. And we see one last push from either of them before we proceed to our playoffs. 57-54, 4 minutes to go. Franz Diaz off of the switch. Diaz faking and feeding. Madrigal 1 second. That's going to be a shot clock violation.
That's how you make a stop. Muntinlupa, single coverage, no problem. Not even needing a help on that last play. They were able to play terrific defense to force a stop against Iloilo.
Okay, Marcos has now returned for Muntinlupa, joining Alfred Flores, Jasper Cuevas, RJ Arenal, and Errol Bongay, who did ask Coach Alex Calwing if they would want to win. They would need to put him back. Let's see if he can be effective. Cuevas onto Flores for 3. Nope. Great rebound by Octeco.
Oh,
that was off of the hands of JR.
he wanted to throw it to Franz Diaz for a chance to be able to run. Pero dumula sa kamay nito ni JR Octeco.
I actually thought it was deflected by RJ Arenal, but no. And so the Cagers will have another chance as Franz Diaz sits down. Pasok dito si Shaq Imperial. 3.5 minutes. A 1 possession game here in Caloocan. We've seen 31 turnovers so far in this game. Cuevas onto Flores. 5 seconds. Nice fake. Cuevas shoots, but he missed. And that's going to be a shot clock violation.
Could have been a good shot para dito kay Cuevas. A perfect chance because he got the defense to bite on his shot fake but couldn't get that wide open jumper.
Coach Mixon asking for time before the 24 seconds expired, but he won't get it. So we shall proceed with Iloilo. AJ Madrigal onto Shaq Imperial. He will have to stabilize things for these United Royals. 3 minutes to go. They're up by 3.
Wants a one-on-one here.
Double team. There's the help. Octeco onto his cutter. Alan Santos. Imperial. The leaner was short.
Not much execution by Iloilo in that last play.
On the other end, Flores feeds. Bongay reverse. No! De La Rosa. had to slow down with no numbers.
The coaching staff of Iloilo pointing out right away, let's execute, no need to rush. Let's look for the best option.
Here's Shaq Imperial working with the two big men up top. Imperial attacking, Imperial missing. And there is a foul called on, was it Muntinlupa?
Foul on number 9, Jasper Cuevas.
Yes, that's free throws.
Shaq Imperial, sorry, that's Alan Santos, that's down.
He's able to recover now. Here's the loose ball foul on that box out.
Alan Santos was able to go to a good position right away, and if you're Jasper Cuevas, wala ka na talagang magagawa but to push off for you to be able to challenge that rebound. So, opportunity for Iloilo to stretch this to a 2-possession ball game.
The first one is good for Alan Santos. He was quite the favorite in Abra as he got into it with his former foe in Tonton Bringas. Here's another one for Kuya Alan, the ultimate veteran of Iloilo. Missing on the second, he has 7 points.
Quite ball game by Alan Santos, 7 points, 4 rebounds, but the impact of Alan has been huge here in the second half.
58-54. Alfred Flores. Man down. It's going to be an unspo.
Oh, no need for Ryan Arenal to do that.
We just called for a tech.
Could have been 2 free throws in the ball possession, but Ryan Arenal was defensive for his teammate. Actually did not see that weak side action that happened. Teco feels he didn't do anything in that last play. Tignan natin on the replay.
This could be a momentum swinging moment for this matchup at 58-54 with 2 minutes and change to go. Let's see it. Actually, marami nangyari doon.
Yes, there was an elbow by Jer Teco. Yung nakita ni Ryan Arenal. He already hit Jasper Cuevas with a few hands, but there was an elbow on that last second by Jer Teco. So this is a good call by the referee here.
So, as it stands, Iloilo will shoot the technical free throw, and then it's 2 free throws plus ball possession for Muntinlupa. But let's see if our referees will change anything.
And we know that crazy things can happen here in the MPBL. Not even a week ago, we saw that big comeback by Zamboanga. So you can never be too careful and too complacent here in the league.
And this is only a 2-possession game after all.
That's right.
We don't even need a miracle as of this moment. But first, let's hear from Miguel Perey as to what will happen. Ito na.
On review, unsportsmanlike foul on number 29, J.R. Octeco is second. Technical foul on number 25, Ryan Arenal for unsportsmanlike behavior. Third foul on Ryan Arenal.
As it stands, same thing. So Ray De La Rosa will shoot the technical free throw. He is 3 out of 4 so far in terms of his free throw shooting in this game.
There will be 2 free throws para sa Muntinlupa as well as ball possession for them.
De La Rosa will convert. So he already has a total of 14 in this game. By halftime, De La Rosa had 4 only. So it's a much better second half for him.
Oh, here in the second half, it's been De La Rosa and AJ Madrigal who's been helping each other for them to be able to make this comeback.
First free throw missed by Jasper Cuevas. These are all important free throws moving forward. Second one is good. Muntinlupa is 7 out of 12 from the stripe, while Iloilo is now 15 out of 29. Inside. Bongay stepped out of bounds. These last 2 minutes are brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX.
We are under 2 minutes. I don't know if that is actually reviewable.
59-55. Jack Imperial has it against Alfred Flores. Imperial will attack. He lost the ball, and that's a turnover.
So every time you give Shaq Imperial that left side, that is really a weakness of his. His strong side is his right side. It's good defense by Alfred Flores. Good help side by Ryan Arenal. It could have been an option for Shaq Imperial to actually kick that out, but an opportunity para dito sa Muntinlupa to cut into the lead.
We have 92 seconds to go. Bongay bounces. Makoy swings it over. Flores. Back up to him. Flores for three. Yes!
He's not done. He's not done. Alfred Flores has been carrying this team whole ball game long, and here he is cutting this lead to 1.
16 points for Alfred Flores, making Stephen Curry proud. A minute and 13 to go. Capascio drives. Capascio almost traveled. Gwyn fading away. No! Rebound. Chadi Rangel. 6 on the shot clock. Capascio is now fouled.
A lot of one-on-one basketball for Iloilo here in the end game. Not much execution. They're not calling a play, but they're lucky they're gonna get a foul here in this in this next possession.
This is three-pointer number 4 out of 9 tries in this game for Alfred Flores, who has surpassed the season average of 13 points per game. So we're back with free throws. Capascio now 5 out of 7 from the line.
Living and dying from the line itong si Gwyn Capascio. His aggressiveness is being rewarded with 5 free throws.
How about that free throw shooting of Iloilo? 16 out of 30.
I'm sure that's one thing they will be talking about after this ball game. But Gwyn will be making 2 here, so that is very important for them to be able to stretch this to 3.
9 points in this game for Gwyn Capascio. Under a minute to go. 61-58. Flores. Bongay. 13 on the shot clock. Marcos. Alfred again. They swing it back up. Cuevas. 6 seconds. Cuevas. He will have to shoot. 1 second. Jasper will miss. And that's tapped away by Madrigal.
Oh yes, that's very clear. But they can review that. We are under 2 minutes here. But AJ is sure na hindi tumama sa kanya. So let's see.
No challenge will be needed. Our referees are on it. These are referees Edmar Avis, J. Francisco, Ryan Cunanan, and John Paul Abobo. "35 seconds remaining for these two teams who are both looking for win number 8 against 13 losses this season. We did mention everything has to be close to perfect for them moving forward as the window is closing for them to reach the playoffs.
That's right, we are in the final stretch of our eliminations. I think it's the last 7 to 8 games for each and every team.
Iloilo was the number 8 seeded team last year. They were 1 game away from reaching the semifinals of the South Division. Let's see that previous sequence. It was off of Iloilo after all.
Definitely tumama dito kay AJ Madrigal.
Here's RJ Arenal against the zone of Iloilo. Pass inside,
that's
intercepted.
That's good. That's why you need a lengthy guy like Chadi Rangel inside the court.
It's a 1-possession game. 5-second differential. Gwyn Capascio defended by Jasper Cuevas. Capascio, 6 seconds onto his cutter, and there's a foul given up. So Gwyn will shoot more free throws with 9 seconds remaining.
Very important free throws para dito kay Gwyn Capascio. Not the best free throw game for Iloilo, but none more important than these next 2.
First one is good for Gwyn. There's Sir JJ Avelosa watching intently at the sideline, looking very happy.
And if Sir J has that kind of smile, you know that his team is playing well.
Yes. After all, they're trying to snap a 4-game losing skid. That's 2 for 2 for Gwyn Capascio, making the all-important free throws in this game. It is 63-58 with 9 seconds to go. somebody has to transform into Reggie Miller for these Muntinlupa Cagers. We're back inside the Caloocan Sports Complex for Iloilo versus Muntinlupa. The Royals now have a 5-point advantage against the Cagers. Muntinlupa has possession. It's going to be a sideline inbound for Jasper Cuevas. Let's see if the white shirts can work some magic. Cuevas going to Bongay. Handing it off to Flores for 3. Too strong. Offensive rebound, 3 seconds. Ramirez unable to convert, and that's going to do it. The Iloilo United Royals will snap their losing skid as they get win number 8 in their campaign.
A gallant stand by Muntinlupa here in this ballgame. They were able to take control the first 2 quarters of the game. But in the third quarter, Iloilo realizing they're quicker, they're taller, and they're better. And that adjustment was enough for them to mount a comeback and eventually go home with a victory, itong Iloilo.
First, let's acknowledge a couple of important players for the Royals. Rai De La Rosa was big time, scoring 10 points in the second half. A total of 14 for him. Gwyn Capasio drained the all-important free throws. 4 of them as the last 4 points of Iloilo. He will finish with double figures as well. But our best player of the game, brought to you by Daily Fantasy, dito sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang laro, is the guy who started it all in the third frame, AJ Madrigal.
He was a guy that really stepped up in the third quarter. He got 2 steals. He was the one that tied the ball game at 54. But it's really the impact of AJ in that run that was very crucial for them to be able to get this victory. We needed a guy to step up. AJ answered the call para dito sa Iloilo.
This final score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending GameX. This should be the best MPBL game so far in the career of AJ Madrigal, who's now joined by Sidney Crespo.
AJ, sabi ni Migs ngayon that this is probably your best MPBL game so far. Congratulations. AJ, I wanna ask you, describe to us the feeling of finally snapping yung 4-game losing skid ninyo, coming back from that Abra game and now escaping Muntinlupa.
Well, we gotta focus on the things we can control, no? So, we got a group of guys naman who can step up anytime. So, today, siguro, it's just happened na just thankful to Lord. It's my first best game. Yeah.
AJ, kita namin yung sayo mo sa smile mo, no? But let's talk about the game very quickly. How did you guys manage to come back in this game? Iloilo outscored Muntinlupa in the second half, third quarter, 22-17. And then sa fourth, 18-12. Anong ginawa niyo?
Well, sinabi nila coach na it's not about the X and O's na sa dugout eh. Parang kalaban na namin yung sarili namin eh. So, ang sama ng ginawa namin ng first half. So, sa coming into third half, we gotta bounce back, we gotta redeem ourselves, and we're lucky na we redeemed ourselves naman.
AJ, I think deserve mo to. Sinong gusto mong batiin at pasalamatan?
First, I'd like to thank Senator Manny Pacquiao sa napakagandang ligang to. GameX, Bagong Kalibo, Victoria Sports, Boss JJ, thank you. And Santos Eatery sa Balagtas. Hoop City! Yeah.
There you go. Once again, congratulations, AJ Madrigal, our best player of the game. Brought to you by Daily Fantasy. Sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang laro. Back to you guys.
So that's the first in MPBL history, AJ Madrigal as our best player. Congratulations to him. At nakita nyo na po ang ngiti na lagi namin nakikita habang naglalaro siya on the court. He's one of the best teammates that these Royals could ask for, representing the purple and white here in Caloocan. Congratulations for the Royals for snapping their 4-game losing skid. As for Muntinlupa, they go down to 7-14. Up next, we shall feature Manila versus Mindoro here in Caloocan. For Sidney Crespo and Juanito Gregorio, my name is Mix Gomez at babalik ko po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.